Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, super clear. Awesome. How's it
Yeah.
going?
About all the issues earlier.
What's up?
I said sorry about all the issues earlier. I wasn't
Oh,
expecting
no,
the
dude, you're totally
connection.
fine. We're not any issues. It
All
worked
right,
out
cool.
totally fine.
Awesome.
Okay,
Awesome.
so maybe you could do a quick intro for the stream. Just say like your tag, where you're from, how long you've been playing, and like goals for the game.
Okay. So, my tag is Igloo. I go by Nico. That's my name, right? I'm from South Florida, but I'm up in Gainesville for school for one more week.
Okay.
Um, sorry, what was the other thing? Oh,
How
how long
long
have
have
I
you
been
been
playing?
playing?
About a year and a half, but like actually going to tournaments, very sporadically up until somewhere recently. So maybe like 2 months ago.
Okay.
Uh, and I kind of just learned with a friend. And my goals, I want to be. So I top aided one of my tournaments recently, like
Mm-hmm.
in Gainesville, and it's not a strong region, but it was fun.
No, it's
So
still
I
good.
want to see if yeah, I was happy with it. So I want to see if I can, break out of like pools at a major or something eventually, maybe one
Okay.
day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. All right, no, that type of stuff definitely helps. And okay, so the first video is you're against T-Web. Pretty sure I gave that guy some lessons a while back, which is interesting. But okay, so is the screen share working for you? You can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, great. Okay, so what do you think went like? What's up with this? Like, were you having? Is it like a Fox thing? Is it like this particular Fox? Like, what do you feel like is going on in this video?
So this was from actually a couple weeks ago. I was expecting just to play. So I just remembered that this guy really kicked my shit. So I can swear on the stream, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
just want to double check. My
No,
bad.
no, you're good. Lesson over. Just like burp. Hello. I already sent the money. It's just like blocked on social media. Like, all
Yeah.
right. Yeah. What
Um,
were you saying?
so I think this guy is just I think he's just a lot better than me. I felt that he was kind of just running me over at a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to play a slower. I know I'm not like the fastest player on earth. Like I don't have the greatest tech skill. Um, so I try to play a slower game and I try to slow the game down with lasers a lot. But he really didn't let me do that in any of the matches. So I kind of just got ran over at a lot of points, which is
Mm-hmm.
what like I also think that I was he pointed out afterwards that I was doing a lot of repetitive actions.
Okay.
So I want to find different solutions to like different. I don't really know exactly which scenarios I was doing those actions in, but I think I was using the same answer for a lot of different things. So I want to
Okay.
like actually have a plan for each scenario. If that
Okay.
makes any sense.
All right. So that sounds good. Let's hop right in. See what we can find.
I haven't seen this in a while, so
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
not
No.
sure.
No worries. No worries. The thing is, most of the time when people are making mistakes, like the mistakes are pretty consistent. Like over a few weeks and over like every game they play and stuff like that. That's normally how I feel when I watch my VODs too.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I do this all the time. Accidental, not fall through laser. Um, so this is something that's a little bit might seem minor, but it's something that'll come up over and over and over forever, which is basically like Falco sucks at zero, like he's horrible at zero, like when the opponent
Okay.
is at zero, like he's basically like bad against every single character when the opponent is zero. Even though Fox is mad light, him being at zero is really a big negative for you, much more than you being at zero is hard for Fox, because Fox has grab, shine, and drill. You know, all of those are really good when you're at zero. So he doesn't really have to worry about it like you do. Um, when your opponent is at zero, especially in this matchup, but it's true in all matchups. There's a very simple plan with Falco, and it's that you're gonna get laser damage. Like you need laser damage. Like you need at least two or three lasers to make things work. Like this down air here. If he had taken like three lasers, this down air probably would have comboed into a shine. But
Okay.
because he's at 0, it's just not gonna, like, basically at 0, you're allowed to grab, shine, laser, or, like, the latest down air ever. Like, like the jump down air, those type of things. Like,
Sure.
where you down air really, really late. You can get away with comboing with those at 0. But basically, no other move is good at 0. And, like, the early down air is actually just worthless at 0. Like, you can see that he's, like, literally, like, positive on frames. Like, it's not
Okay.
even that you were, like, too slow. It's that, like, he is literally out of stun here as you are just starting your landing frame. So, yeah, that's something to watch out for, and it's something that is basically true all the time. And so, your goal is to only land lasers, pretty much, and, like, your other moves are there to allow you to land, like, those first few lasers. So, basically, if you're going for these first few lasers and Fox tries to hit you and you get a shine, that's great. That's obviously the best thing you could get because a shine works even at 0. But like basically, if you're trying to defend yourself with lasers and he gives you like a stray back air, that's great because you already that's like a bunch of lasers kind of for free is like one back air. So basically,
Okay.
yeah, you got to get your opponent out of 0. And Falco is crazy, crazy, stupid good at, like, protecting himself in general. So you shouldn't have too much trouble with that. I can get into a little bit more how to protect yourself better as we go, but I just wanted to point that out, that this is, like, every time. Every single stock, you got to make sure to get them out of 0.
Okay. Can we talk about that for a second? Because
Yeah.
the only thing I really use to protect myself is shine out of shield or
Mm-hmm.
like nair out of shield. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's feeling spicy, but so what should I be looking for
Oh,
exactly?
okay. Yeah, I was thinking about going into this, like, after a little bit, but we can do it right now. So basically, Falco has 3 defensive tools. He has full hop, laser,
Okay.
and roll. These are the 3 tools that can keep you safe from every character in the game. Like, if you use just these 3 tools correctly, there isn't a character in the game that can, like, hit you. Like, ever.
Okay.
And so, that is basically, like, what you do. Like, if Fox is full hopping onto you or coming off of a platform in kind of, like, an irritating way, or you don't like so roll is a lot more useful when Fox is kind of coming down onto you. That's really where roll is like the strongest, is especially because Fox will do that to you like constantly. Like, he'll go to the platform, come down with a back air, he'll full hop over the platform, come down with a back air, come down with the drill, all this type of stuff. There are ways to sort of like counter hit these, like maybe you can up tilt the full hop, etc., etc. Like, there are ways to hit Fox, but they're a lot less important than like being able to stalemate positions. Being able to be like, Fox did this, I go here, no problems. Because if you can't stalemate, then Fox can just kind of do things, and then when you do things to deal with his things, you're just sort of slowly putting yourself at a disadvantage, which isn't what you want. So, like,
Okay.
obviously. So the roll is just crazy, crazy, stupid good when Fox is falling on you. Like, for instance, when you're in the corner, maybe, and Fox is, like, dash dancing, that's when you wouldn't want to do the roll, because a lot of times they're just waiting for your roll out of the corner. But if they jump or something like that, it's roll time. And Falco's roll is crazy, crazy, crazy good. And so that's like a really huge tool, is the roll. And a lot of times you can even like double roll, like roll and then roll back, and it's like fine, because it's
Okay.
so fast. So the other one is full hop, and so basically the best way to think about his full hop is that so basically, like, why is Fox's full hop such a good defensive tool? And it's like, well, if I do a grounded move or a short hop move, he just dodges those. He just gets above them. He jumps right above those moves, and he comes down on me after I did my air, like my down air, my laser, or my forward smash, or anything, and he'll just come right down out of the full hop and hit me. And so that's what makes Fox's full hop so good. And also being able to interact with platforms, but everybody's full hop can do that. So the reason why Falco's full hop is so good is that he does the same exact thing, but to everything that Fox has. So, kind of like where Fox's full hop can get away from grounded options or short hop options. Falco's full hop is so crazy that you get above grounded options, short hop options, and Fox's full hop. So kind of how when you short hop and Fox full hops and he's kind of right above you, and then you land and he kind of comes down right on top of you, that's what you actually want to be using full hop for.
Okay.
So like basically you full hop and then Fox will like full hop nair or something, and you can either like if he so there's a little bit of a difference because with Fox's full hop, if the opponent does short hop or grounded option, you can punish them because your full hop is like a little lower. Whereas with Falco, like if you full hop and they do like an up smash on the ground or something, you're not going to be able to punish. So Falco's full hop is like a little bit more stalemate oriented, but it allows you to punish Fox's full hop a lot of the times, which is like really, really good. So a lot of times the full hop is how you want to get out of the corner. It's how you want to get out of like somewhat uncomfortable positions in like slightly off center or on like a side platform if you're uncomfortable. The full hop is where it's at. And then basically anytime you're not doing one of these two other options, like the roll or the full hop, you want to be lasering them.
Okay.
Did you see my video on the double laser in place? Did you get around to watching that?
I'm not sure. I don't remember it.
Okay, so you definitely didn't, because you probably would have remembered if you did.
Okay.
It's not a big deal you didn't see it, but I do want to link it to you really quick. So let me just grab it really quick, and I'll link it to you for after the lesson. But basically, there's a certain range you can sit at, where if you just shoot two lasers really fast, Fox basically can't get in on you. So the idea is you shoot the first laser and you kind of watch to see what's going on. And if you manage to sort of... Because he's going to be moving and you're moving around, so you're not going to be totally sure of the range. But if you get this nice range from the video, you can just shoot another laser and he doesn't have a way to, like, force his way in.
Oh, okay. All right, that's something useful.
Yeah, so this... And I consider this, like... basically the most important piece of this matchup, because without doing this you're forced into a lot of situations where you do stuff like laser dash dance, and laser dash dance is so crazy good and broken except against Fox where it's awful. Like it
Okay.
you obviously need it, like you need laser dash dance, but just doing single laser into like mix up, it sort of gives Fox the advantage, because he just takes the laser and does like a nair or whatever. He can kind of do whatever he wants off of it. So that double laser is crazy, crazy important. So yeah, those are the three tools that you're going to be using to sort of stalemate Fox. And the idea is like you should basically be able to play against any Fox and use these tools and make the match slow down a lot. Like you should be extremely difficult to hit. And
Okay.
that becomes really useful. For example, if you're a stock up, like a lot of times Foxes will tell me when I'm playing, when I'm trying super hard and like doing the lasers and stuff like that, that like they basically feel like if I get a stock lead that they have like a 10% chance of catching up, because like once I have the lead I'm just gonna do the camping and they can't really break the stalemate without putting themselves in danger. And that's what you want. You want to be able to have access to that stalemate so that you can use it for these important situations, either having a lead or your opponent is at 0 and you need some laser damage, stuff like that. And the nice thing about full hopping around a bunch is that a lot of times you end up in these nice situations where you full hop and land on a platform, and then they hit your shield and get like shield drop shined and stuff like that. So that's another thing you want to watch out for while you're doing or you want to be aware of while you're doing these full hops.
Okay. All right. I'll make sure to.
But yeah, those things, that stuff is like, that's like the basis of everything. Okay. This down air, I think, was definitely fine. I feel like he must have jumped into it or something. Because I feel like this is kind of acceptable. Like, what does he do? Yeah, he jumps right into it. Okay, yeah. You can't completely account for this. This is just how it goes. The game has mix-ups, you know? So he just happened to jump right into the down air. All you can do out of this is just play it out the best you can, which you do, so it worked.
Okay. Is that so? Shine pressure, right? I think my shine pressure is really bad, because I kind of just wave shine back like behind their shield and then
Yeah.
try again,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sometimes I go for the shine grab, but I'm admittedly not consistent enough with it.
Mm-hmm.
So is a shine grab appropriate, or should I be looking for something else at that point? Like I noticed, I think it's Ginger does like he'll sometimes like do like a fade back laser in that position, but I don't know why that's good or even if it's
Yeah,
good.
okay, let's see. I'm gonna say, for now, don't worry about the laser. The laser
Okay.
is kind of like a small optimization on... Like, the laser basically functions the same way as a late aerial on shield, but it doesn't have... Um, it doesn't do as much shield damage in exchange for, like, covering a few more options out of shield, like with the opponent moves out of shield. But it's a
Okay.
really minor part of the pressure, and I would say, especially against like Fox, probably 99% of the time you don't really use that laser pressure. It's a lot more common against a character like Marth, you know, where like the late aerial pressure is just not as good. So you can kind of get him in shield and then use these lasers, and then if he like wave dashes out of shield, the laser might, you know, catch him wave dashing out, and then you get like a good pressure or something like that. That's a little bit more how like the short hop laser pressure is supposed to be used. And against
Okay.
Fox, that's just not really the thing. I'm sure that Ginger has found some very small applications for it, but it's really something that you don't need to worry about in this matchup. Uh,
Okay.
so there are a few ways to pressure shield. So ultimately, you're trying to read the timing that Fox is exiting his shield, and so it's a little complicated, but basically the main mix up you should kind of be thinking of is like, see, like late aerial, you know, like the Sammy aerials where you do like short hop, press the aerial, fast fall, and then it hits. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. Yeah,
Okay,
I know what
yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah, so you want to do those aerials, and Magi is really good at at like pressuring with those aerials over and over again. And so basically, you're going to be mixing up single shine with double shine. And so that makes it so that if Fox kind of reads the... Like, if Fox reads that you're going to do a single shine, like he thinks you're going to do shine into whatever, and then he does like a shine out of shield, or he does like an up smash out of shield or a grab or something like that, and you do a double shine, that the second shine will hit him. And then the late aerial sort of functions as like, you kind of, how should I say it? Like you skip a turn, and like the way you say it, like it's kind of like, so like think of it in terms of like beats. And so you're like, if you pressure beats 1 and 3, which is like shine, short hop, wait a second, late aerial, so there's like a little gap there. Fox has to guess to be able to hit that second beat of like the pressure. And so it's kind of a situation where like Fox has to guess. Let's say Fox picks a number between like 1 and 3 or 4, and then if your pressure has an opening during that number that Fox happened to pick, like you do shine shine, like double shine, short hop, late aerial, then it would kind of be like 2 hits and then a gap and then a third hit. And so if he guesses right that the gap was after the 2 shines, then he'll be in a good spot, like he'll hit you. But then if he doesn't, but if he guesses that it's going to be after 1 shine or after 3 shine, or like, you know, shine shine early aerial, or shine like triple shine, if he guesses the wrong number, then he'll either get hit out of shield or you'll like continue the pressure. So that's kind of where like the late aerial is good. Because let's say you do... So let's say your opponent thinks you're going to double shine their shield, okay? And you do shine, short hop, late aerial. What happened is they were like, okay, I'm going to pick beat 3 to attack. Because I think you're going to do shine, shine, late aerial. So I skip the first 2 beats because I'm getting shined, and then there's a gap, and I'll attack out of that gap. And so let's say instead of doing that, you do shine, short hop, late aerial. Then so that basically instead of hitting on 1, 2, gap, and then 4, you do 1, gap, 3. And so there is a hit on 3, not a gap. And so your opponent reading the double shine is going to get stuck in shield for the late aerial, and the late aerial gives you, it kind of restarts it. So like basically if your opponent stays in shield and you get the late aerial, you get to do it again. You get to choose 1 shine or 2 shines and then when to do the aerial. And basically you're just trying to make sure like it's kind of like the numbers 1 through 4, and as long as your opponent doesn't guess the exact right number, you will either win or just reset and get shield damage. And that is kind of like the strength of it. And wave shining on their shield, like you're saying, like you do shine and you wave dash out and you do another shine on the back of their shield. All that is 1, gap, 3. So that's kind of the equivalent of doing shine, short hop, late aerial, except instead of the late aerial, you get a second shine. So maybe if your opponent is at like a certain percent where you want the shine instead, then like shine, wave dash, shine is kind of like a slightly better version of like shine, short hop, late aerial. Does that make sense? Yeah. I feel like it was a little long-winded, but I tried to make it as clear as possible. And
crystal clear.
And so basically the other way is shine grab. And so like when you do a shine grab, you're saying the shine grab is interesting where so shine covers beat 1 and then the grab will cover beat 2. And so you're basically saying, well, it'll usually cover beat 2. Sometimes they can shine out a shield with there. But you're basically saying, like, if you guess a high number, like, if you're going to hold shield, because some people do that against Falco, where they're just like, I don't care how many times you hit my shield, I'm just holding shield. And if they're going to do that, your options are basically do this late aerial pressure. Late aerials wear down their shield super fast. So if they let you loop, like, twice in a row, they're just going to get shield poked, which is why it's so strong. But if they decide to hold shield for a long time, the shine grab is good because it just like, it just beats the shield if they decided to hold it. But Falco's combos out of the shine grab are really lacking for the most part. So the most common location for Falco to shine grab out of pressure is when Fox is in the corner, because then you get shine grab forward throw, which is so strong against Fox for like gimping him and stuff like that. Most Foxes are sort of extra aware of the shine grab in the corner. And so a lot of Foxes, when you shine their shield, will roll backwards. And so it's really common against most characters in the corner that if you shine their shield, you sort of mix up between shine grab and shine wave dash back to cover the roll to center.
Okay, so I shine wave dash back.
Yeah. So if they're in the corner, you mix up shine grab and shine wave dash back. That's like the most common usage of shine grab. Otherwise, you mostly want to do against Fox. You mostly want to do this late aerial pressure. If you're against Sheik, you want to shine grab almost every time. But against Fox, you usually don't want to do the shine grab much.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much.
This is like basically just like an info dump so far, but it's good info.
No, I'm writing it all down. So okay. I'm just gonna go through this. Yeah.
What were we talking about? What got us into that? Do you remember?
Let me look through my notes. I did a wave shine back on shield.
Yeah. Okay, right. So you wanted to do the shield pressure explain. So yeah, that's basically how the shield pressure works. So you basically just want to make sure you mix it up and don't do like some people will get into a habit of doing like double shine every single time, and that's definitely not good. So you mostly just want to make sure you mix it up. Mix up single shine, double shine, and late aerial, and wave dash, shine, wave dash, shine. If you can just mix those somewhat evenly, and then in the corner shine, wave dash back, people will consider you to have like very strong shield pressure. That's essentially what Magi does, and her shield pressure is like known as being quite good. So
yeah, no, she's amazing.
Yeah, and that's basically like that is what she does. There is not really a lot else that Falco can do there. And the people who are the best at the shield pressure are good at sort of feeling the flow of the match and the way their opponent is feeling, and using that to kind of guess, you know, are they kind of antsy out of shield? Do they feel comfortable holding it? That type of thing.
How would you go about practicing this? I use Uncle Punch for everything, but is that just good enough? Like, don't need to learn 20XX or anything?
No, Uncle Punch is totally fine. Just like have a Fox shield and practice it, you know? And you can do a thing in Uncle Punch too where you can tell it like act out of shield after X amount of hits type thing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. But
yeah, so there's a feature in Uncle Punch training mode where you can basically tell it like to, for example, you can say grab after 3 hits or shine at a shield after 3 hits. And then you can practice stuff where you do double shine, late aerial, and make sure you can get like the reset into the next shine and stuff like that. So you can kind of tell the Fox to like do things on like the certain beat, like after each type, like do it after 1 hit, after 2 hits, after 3 hits, stuff like that, and sort of get used to like practicing those. I don't think you need to go super ham on it in terms of like grinding it. I think it's something that like you just need to make sure you are technically capable of all of those options, and like make sure that, you know, you have them in your hands. By far the hardest part is when you actually hit their shield, just not doing the one that's most comfortable. Like the hardest thing is to mix up on shield. And I catch myself all the time where I'm like, dude, this entire session I did late aerial double shine. Like for like an hour, I'll just suddenly catch myself that like I've gotten really lazy on the shield pressure. And especially it'll happen where you're like, yeah, I'm mixing it nice and good, like I've been working hard on this, and then you fight like one dumb idiot Fox who like just guesses beat 2, like they don't know what a double shine is. And so after every time you shine their shield, they just try to do something. And so there's some Foxes where like you'll hit their shield and just double shine, and you'll just hit them every time. And it's really, really difficult to like, you know, remember that like after you're done playing that very predictable Fox player to like go back to mixing it up. So it's gonna kind of be like a permanent journey. Just do your best to like recognize when you've only been doing one type of shield pressure and try to mix it up.
Okay, no problem. And so we've been talking a lot about double shine. I actually can't double shine yet, so I'm gonna go practice this tonight.
Okay,
right?
yeah, that is a pretty significant thing. In terms of double shining, there's a little bit of weirdness. Basically, if you want to be able to catch frame perfect shine at a shield, okay, so basically there's a way that Falco double shine can catch buffered roll, but you have to do shine and then do a frame perfect JC shine afterward. So the best way to practice it is to go in like the Uncle Punch shield pressure training or whatever, and tell Fox to, so shine at a shield is like 1 frame slower than the buffered roll at a shield. So what I would do is I would have Fox shine at a shield and try to hit double shine on the shine at a shield before you worry about the roll, and then you can practice the roll. You don't need to get it totally perfect because, you know, you're not quite at the level yet where you need task double shines, you know. So but basically the majority of the time in like regular usage and gameplay against most characters, you want to do the aerial JC shine. So you want to do the JC shine 1 frame after you're airborne, 1 or 2 frames after you're airborne, because that lets you be actionable faster. Because after the aerial shine, you know, you just waveland down. You don't have to worry about your jump squat. So I would say you're eventually going to need both. So I would say learn the grounded double shine now, and maybe practice the aerial double shine a little bit too. Just know you're going to need them both eventually, but basically it's okay to focus on one first. I did grounded double shine first, and now I almost exclusively do aerial double shine. But
Okay.
you're going to need both eventually, and I have basically been talking to myself like, okay, like, I've been getting all these advantages from the aerial double shine for a long time, but I can't catch a buffered roll because I don't do the grounded one. So it's just something you kind of need to implement over a long period, but just be aware that there are two different timings.
Sorry, so to do the grounded double shine, to practice that in Uncle Punch, you have Fox shine out of shield after one hit, and then you do the shine, Fox shines out of shield after the first hit, and then you're shining again, right?
No, you should be able to get your shine out before Fox's shine out of shield.
Okay,
So basically you hit his shield, and then he will enter his jump squat frames, and your second shine will hit him before his shine comes out.
oh, but you said it so he goes to shine out of shield after one hit.
After one hit, yes.
Yeah, okay, great. And then for the aerial shine,
what's that?
so how would I set this up to practice the aerial shine?
Let me think. It's maybe not as good, but what I like to do is I like to set up a character like Falcon, and I'll have him grab out of shield after one hit, and I'll do shine, jump, shine, waveland down, and the second shine should just hit him out of his grab.
Okay.
So you want like shine, you short hop, Falcon starts his grab, and then you shine him out of it and waveland down. The thing with the aerial double shine, you don't really need to worry about the exact timing as much. So as long as you hit him out of his grab, I consider that fine. The super precise one is the grounded double shine, which is probably what I would say you should learn first. But the aerial one is both easier and is useful in more spots. So I think you'll get to it without much problem after you learn the double. Like, when I learned the aerial one, I was kind of like, oh man, whew, this is way easier than the grounded double, so don't worry about it too hard.
I gotcha. Yeah, that was bad.
Okay. So yeah, a situation like this. So a lot of times you have to make a decision on... Okay. Let's see. Maybe this isn't the perfect place to bring this up. Okay, I'm just going to keep watching. Let's get a little bit further in the video. But basically, you don't want to be in these situations where you kind of just keep getting CC'd like this. If you feel uncomfortable here, you should definitely full hop. The nice thing about full hop, hard for Fox to challenge it, and also you can just come down off the top plat with a laser and then get a nice laser situation.
Okay.
Because you're right, you're kind of just getting, like, run over. And I think that's because you're not... Okay, so this... So this is another situation that is really important to notice. And so it's this. So every character in the game, upon returning to, like, dead neutral, like, for instance, like this... like, okay. There's nothing really going on here. The characters are completely in neutral positions around the stage, and every character in the game who's not Falco has to do a mix-up here. So every character in the game who's not Falco, they have to be like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna wave dash? Am I gonna dash? Am I gonna full hop, short hop? Am I going to go to platform? Am I going to go to ledge? They have to make all of these decisions. The great part about playing Falco, you don't have to make a single one of those decisions. You have registered a couple things. So you're in grounded neutral. Fox is not close enough to punish laser. Like, if he's right here, you have to worry a little bit more, because if you laser, he can just kill you, right? But if he's right here, he can't punish your laser. When the opponent is too far away to punish laser, and you can kind of get a good idea of it from watching that double laser video I sent you in Discord. So you'll see the range of, it's kind of about here, where Fox can't really get in if you laser. But basically, your choice here is easy. You have separated to neutral, and Fox cannot punish laser, so you should laser. Like, that's just how it is. So you should just immediately be lasering here. Doing these dash dances is, you're just playing laserless Falco. Laserless Falco needs to do a mix-up here like everybody else. The Fox needs to do a mix-up, but Falco is not a regular character. Laser gives him a free advantage. So you immediately, if you have, there's no risk to lasering, the laser needs to be coming out. And this does a number of things. So, first of all, a lot of times it will pin him in place if it hits. And you'll see in the double laser video that if the laser hits Fox, you get another laser for free, and you get to basically do this forever unless Fox wants to put himself in a bad spot, or it forces him to move, which is good because, like, eventually the more times you can force Fox to move, you're eventually going to, like, read him jumping or something and shine him or something like that. And it protects you, so that's good, and it gets damage. So all of these things are super useful with the laser. And it stops Fox from being speedy. Like, this is like the main concept for, like, not wanting to get run over, like, in regards to lasers, is I always say that, like, Fox beats every other character by being faster than them. And he's just like, well, no matter how fast you are, I'm faster. And that's kind of how he wins. And Falco beats all the other characters in the game for, like, a very similar reason. But instead of being like, I'm faster than you, Falco goes, you're slower than me. And so Falco, instead of trying to outspeed his opponent, uses the lasers to make them slower than him. And if you're not using the lasers to make your opponent slower than you, well, if the character's slow already, you're fighting against a Bowser, you don't really need the lasers because Bowser's already slower than you. You can abuse your speed. But Fox is way faster than you, and so the faster a character is, Captain Falcon, Fox, stuff like that, the faster they get, the more important slowing them down with lasers is, because otherwise their character is faster than yours, and you will get, like, run around and run over and all this type of stuff. That makes sense?
Right. Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. I'm starting to see this. Okay. Yeah. That made it that, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's my little spiel that I say every time about, like, why you have to laser Fox. And so, okay, so there's a lot of spots. Here's another thing that I say, like, every lesson, is that basically, if you can't describe a neutral situation, or, like, an interaction, if you can't describe an interaction with the word laser at some point, like, if the laser is not relevant to the actual interaction, you are not playing Falco, you are playing laserless Falco. The laser, like, the more often a laser is relevant when talking about an interaction, the stronger Falco gets. The laser is his super move. It is what makes him the strongest character. Otherwise, he has a lot of issues. So, when you end up in a spot like this, and you shoot this laser, this is what I was talking about, so it's good you did this laser now. So this is what I was saying, is, like, you break to neutral, Fox can't punish the laser, so you're like, aha, I shoot the laser. Fox is forced to leave and go to the side plat. So this is good. This is an interaction where you use laser and Fox is forced to go to the side plat. But now, the laser is gone. Like, the laser didn't interact with Fox. All this laser did was make Fox move here. So kind of just, like, I don't know, put your hand in front of the laser on the screen. This laser is gone because it's not going to touch or interact with Fox in any way from now on. So the new situation is that Fox is on the side plat. So you should basically play this position as if you never shot this laser. And so by immediately going for this nair in, this is essentially Fox full hop to the side plat, and I naired in from across the stage. The laser, even though you just kind of shot it, is not included in a description of this situation. Because he's already, like here. Like, the laser's gone. The laser's dead and gone. All that matters now is the fact that you're naring into the platform. And so you want to avoid this. Because the laser is not, like, relevant. The laser has not, made something happen. So, another thing I say, I have, like, 10 things that I just spam every time when I'm talking about Falco, because they're so useful. But the idea is, you want to outplay them with your lasers, and then capitalize with Falco. You don't want to outplay your opponent with Falco. Sometimes you're forced to, but you don't want to. That's kind of his advantage. He has this whole extra layer to the other characters. Fox has no option but to outplay you with his body. He has to move around and hit you with himself. Falco can outplay Fox with just lasers, make him spot dodge or something, using only lasers, and then punish with his body. So that's just something important to keep in mind.
So, I bet when I watch that video, it'll make things a lot clearer, but...
Yeah. I've been spamming a lot of info, so I do not blame you for not catching everything so far.
No, it's just lasers to me at this point. I've always used them as, like, against Falcon, I've always used it as, okay, I shoot a high laser, Falcon can't do an aerial. I shoot a low laser, I force him to do an aerial, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and same kind of idea with Fox. It's like, and then I try to punish the aerial, is how I always think about it. But that's as far as it goes, really. Like, I don't have much of a basis past that. It's all, and like, okay, I can get free damage, right? So I don't know.
You don't know, like, how to get a win with lasers, is what you mean?
Yeah. I don't know, like, how to really... It's always, like, a second thought, almost.
Okay. It's really interesting. I feel like I'm getting to go over all of my favorite Falco spiels in this lesson.
Great.
Yeah, no, I love talking about this stuff, because this is what makes Falco so sick. So, there's something in this game that I call initiative, and it basically has to do with, like, who is doing the thing that the other person has to react to. And so, let's see, what's a good example of, like, initiative? So, like, let's say you're playing, like, a Ganondorf, and you're dash dancing for a second, and then they just jump at you, and they start their forward air. Like, they have the initiative in that situation because you were kind of chilling, and then now their move is on the way out. There's nothing else you should really be doing in the game except, like, avoiding and countering that forward air. So even though against Ganon, he takes the initiative and you still have an advantage, that's a lot of times what makes these low-tier characters bad, is, like, if they act first, they're at a disadvantage, like, a huge one. And the better the character gets, usually the better they are at, like, having that, like, kind of initiative. And Fox is kind of broken because, like, he's so fast and spammy that a lot of times he just kind of gets it automatically, because he'll just, like, whiff an aerial, and you're like, now it's my turn. And Fox is like, my turn's not over. Another nair, you know? So, like, Fox can kind of force you to react to him. And that's part of what makes him so powerful, is that, like, Marth doesn't get to play the game a lot of times because Marth is too busy dashing back to avoid the scary Fox. And that's kind of where, like, initiative comes in. The great part about Falco is he always has initiative. As long as you hit the opponent with a laser, Falco has a frame advantage. So you just hit them with the laser, or you shoot the laser, they shield the laser, they get hit with the laser, you jump over the laser, it doesn't really matter. If you just shoot a laser and then dash, either forward or back, usually forward, but if you just shoot a laser and move, against Fox it's usually forward, but if you just shoot a laser and do something, anything, you are at a frame advantage. So the opponent will get hit with the laser, and they know that after they get hit with the laser, you're gonna do something. Falco will do something. And so, and, like, they are literally, like, in stun while you're doing things. So, like, you always have this advantage of, like, you get to, like, dash in and jump, and they need to react to your dash in and jump with something. So they can react to your dash in and jump with, like, a full hop or a dash back, and a lot of times these are, you know, really common options. They either shield, they dash back, they full hop, or they throw out a move. That's kind of, you know, Fox. That's, like, what they do when they get lasered. And the reason why they're picking one of those options rather than, like, I don't know, get hit by a laser and then stand there menacingly is because you have the initiative. So they know that you're not reacting to them. They know that you're going to hit the laser, you're getting an advantage, and you have the potential to push that advantage after the laser. That you might short hop at them and stuff like that. And a lot of times you'll get these outplays with laser. Like, the perfect example of, like, a really good laser outplay against Fox is that you, like, laser him and he dashes kind of awkwardly towards you, and you laser him again and he gets hit in, like, this pretty close range, but not super duper close. And so what he's afraid of is he's afraid of the Falco Classic. Fox is afraid of you lasering instant down airing. You know, like the thing that every Falco does. You laser and you instant down air. So he's like, dude, I don't want to get hit with laser instant down air. So he shields. That's like a really common response, is you laser them and dash and jump, and Fox will shield. Well, now you can do, because he's afraid of the early down air, you can land late nair on shield and then do that whole shield pressure thing that I explained earlier. So that's like an example of, like, you use the laser to get an initiative which causes Fox to need to deal with your threats very directly, and then you can counter him for dealing with your threats. And part of what makes Falco so strong in this spot is that Falco can do laser, dash dance, and then if you, like, let's say Fox shielded, he's just stuck in shield. Or you can do laser, laser, and if he's shielded, he's stuck in shield. How about if he dashes away? You do laser, he dashes back, you laser again. So what? Now you just laser again? Like, he gave you too much space. He can't even... The laser is now safe, so you return to that pattern of, like, oh, you're too far away? Laser. How about if he throws out a move, but you dash dance? Then, you know, that situation comes up where you do laser, dash in, then dash back. And then Fox does that take laser turnaround up tilt thing. And then the up tilt misses and you down air him. That type of thing. So basically, hitting the laser gives you this big advantageous position where Fox has to deal with you, but you can actually just keep shooting lasers if you feel like. And so it gives... You're giving a Fox a lot of opportunities to put himself in bad spots or get scared and overcommit to a solution to things that you are just threatening without any consequences to yourself. Does that make sense?
No, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
So the answer is kind of just laser again. And a lot of, like, if you're not sure what to do, just laser again if he's not too close, I guess.
Well, laser again if you don't know what else to do. But a lot of times you can laser and then they shield, and you don't want to laser again against a shield. That's when you kind of just want to dash dance, because then they're scared.
Like, does it work kind of like the Leffen Nair does, where your laser dash takes space away from them, sort of thing? Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
No, explain that. Explain that again.
Where I know I saw some fucking Twitter clip where, like, Leffen does a Nair and then he's able to take a little bit of space, and he does another Nair and he can take a little bit more space because it's hard for anyone to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something similar to the laser dash forward, and then you can play the game a little bit, like, at a closer range with priority? Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Nah, you're right, except you don't have to take the space because you have the laser.
Oh, okay, yeah. You have the option.
So, like, you are correct, but it's more that you laser them, and then you're like, I could take space, but I'm shooting another one. And they're like, dude, okay, fine, I'll come close to you. And then you're like, now I got the laser in your face, and it's schmix-up time, you know?
Yeah,
so,
okay, I got it. Yeah.
And then there are more patterns with the laser. So just to go over one more so you're not kind of randomly lost on this, but basically, in addition to, like, the double laser in place, retreating laser into approaching laser is really good. And I don't want to explain it too much, but basically you get to do a thing where you, like... Because Falco taking space is kind of hard, because when you move forward and Fox moves forward, a lot of times he can just hit you. So what you can do is you can, like, back off and laser, like a dash away laser, and then just come right back in with the laser and sort of like retake the space you gave up, and that kind of lets you approach, like quote approach. Like you approach by like retreating and then approaching back to where you were. That's like how Falco approaches.
Okay, all right.
Against Fox. Fox is the only character in the game that Falco can't approach. And you just kind of have to like come to terms with that like every time you approach a Fox, it's kind of fake. Like it's a little bit fake. And so you just need to learn like the real game of like basically never approaching Fox ever and being able to like avoid his stuff. And then once you get that, then you start, finding ways to I don't know, you find ways to like cheat a little bit where you're like, I know I can't approach Fox, but this one Fox I'm playing is kind of vulnerable in this one position, so I'll approach there. That type of thing. But you don't want to be approaching Fox out of like a feeling of like necessity that like I gotta get him before he gets me type of thing. Like that it will lead you to ruin against Fox.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, especially with this guy, because I'm kind of just throwing in nairs, and in the later games, I kind of just nair at him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is like a spot where, like right here, where like full hop would be so much better here, because you just kind of get way away from him.
Yeah,
rather than that
I
short
didn't
hop.
take any defensive options. I just didn't know them at the time.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm just giving you an example of like where the full hop would be good. It is always funny sometimes. I'll give advice to people, and then we'll just keep watching the same VOD, and I'm like, you did it again! They're like, I can't take the advice in the VOD! Like, so I get it.
So to talk about a little bit of a more general thing, I'm bad at VOD analysis of my own VODs. Like, I'm really bad at it. So sometimes I'll just get hit, and I'll be like, okay, I don't really know what I should have done. Like, how do you go about approaching your own VODs when you watch them? Like, what are you looking for in particular?
So, so there's two ways that I watch VODs. And one way is, like, the much more uncommon way. And that is the way that, like, I kind of just, I'm super lost. And I just go through and I start, like, kind of making a note of, like, what I get hit by and when. Like, man, I was just trying to play neutral and Marth naired me or something, and I write that down, and then I'll just kind of watch through the VOD, and I'll kind of just see like what happens more than once, and especially in like multiple sessions, like there will be things that happen a lot, and this is what I do when I'm kind of like lost or I feel like I'm just kind of getting beat up, which doesn't happen super often for me, but like
Sure.
it definitely does, and it used to happen more. So this type of VOD analysis used to be a little bit more common for me, especially when I was picking up Falco, and my Falco was like a lot newer. But basically, you just kind of go through and you just list out ways, because like over like the course of a few games, your opponent will not open you up in like a different way every time. Like that's not gonna happen. So a lot of times it'll happen where like you'll watch through and there's like a couple openings that just keep getting repeated. Like every time he went to top plat and came down with a back air and hit me, that type of thing. Or every single time he did this combo I held in, that type of thing. So there's like things that you can kind of see like repeating. Like that's what you want to look for, is you just watch a bunch of your VODs and you look for things that keep happening. That they just keep hitting you with the same thing. And then you go back through them and you look and you say, okay, what can I do to make sure this never happens again? Or what can I do to at least minimize the chances of this happening? Like, what action can I take? And then when you go to practice it, you just look for that one thing and you try to do your solution for that one thing. You can practice it with like a replay or whatever first, but then when you go into a match, you just want to make sure that you're capable of like using it in matches and like getting it sort of worked into your playstyle. So that's style one of VOD analysis. And the thing that's true no matter how I study VODs is I'm a big like one thing type of person. Like I basically think that you should be working on like 1 to 2 things at any given time. in a specific matchup. So, like, a lot of times people are like, yeah, I watched my VOD and I went through and I wrote down like 40 things. And then, like, I need to get better at spacing, edge guarding, combos, defense, offense. And it's like, yeah, you're not going to learn anything when you when you list out like 40 things to improve on. Just find the thing that feels the most egregious. Like, the idea is you're always just trying to pick the one thing that is hurting you the most and fix that. So that's one way that I will study VODs. The other way that I'll study the VODs is I'll come in with like a very specific question. So let's say like I watch a Mango VOD and I see him do something sick, like he lands like a nair down air in some situation or something like that. Or for instance, like a nice early one that happened to me on the Falco combos was like I would see Ginger or Mango, and they get this thing on Yoshi's a lot, which is a really common Falco combo, which is like you shine, Fox DIs off the stage, and you get like a short hop double jump down air off stage. You know what I'm talking about? Like the classic Yoshi's killer thing. So I used to not get that like all the time when I first picked up Falco. I was like, dude, everybody else is getting these openings. Why aren't those openings happening for me? And then, so that what I do is I look through and I say, okay, they kind of get this opening in X position. They'll get this opening here. And then I'll just look through my VODs, and all I'm doing, looking through my matches, is looking for that one position to see what I do there. Like, why am I not getting the same rewards that they get in a certain spot? And I will, like, super focus on that one thing until I can figure out, like, okay, in this position, I always down air, but what I should be doing is nairing here, or I need to be up tilting here, or I need to be shining here. And that is sort of the main way that I go over VODs, is that I go in with like, man, like, I just keep getting shine out of shielded, and then I'll like watch the VOD, and I'll be like, oh, like, it's because I keep doing early aerials. Like, I haven't done a late aerial in like 20 games or something, you know? And I'll be like, oh. And then, you know, you go into a match and you practice using the late aerials extra hard, like that type of thing. But you want to keep it mad focused, and you want to, especially at the level you're at, you want to look for like the things that happen the most that like ruin the match. Like, you want to look for ways that you just get destroyed, or really common situations where like you'll get an advantage and you get reversaled out of a combo. Things like that, you really want to like get rid of them, and you want to just focus on things like one at a time. It's kind of like maybe like if you're like cleaning like a room, you know, and it's really easy to just look at like a dirty room that you need to clean, or anything you need to clean, and just be like, there's so many things. There are 500 things to clean. I will do it tomorrow. It's like really easy to sort of do things like that, but you really just need to break it down like, okay, what is the thing that I can fix immediately that will like clean things up the most? And you just sort of can go through it until, you know, you get the biggest chunks out of the way, and then things start getting a little bit easier. So that's my main takeaway, is to stay focused on like very limited things and try to look for the most important, biggest weakness possible. Don't worry about like seeing everything. There's plenty of times where I will come back to the same VOD of me or another player, like multiple times. Like, I will come, not as much my VODs, but I'll come back and look at like a Mango VOD or something like 3 months later, but I'll come back with a completely different question. And so it'll, like let's say I come into a Mango VOD and I'm like, man, how is he using these approaching lasers against Fox? And I'll just pay attention to that, and I'm like, great, I'm done with this VOD. Then 3 months later, I'm working on up tilt combos, and I'm watching the VOD, and I'm only looking at the up tilt combos, and I'm not even paying attention to the approaching lasers. That type of thing. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, you have great analogies.
Oh, okay, great, thanks.
Yeah, no, they make complete sense to me. I got it.
I'm glad it worked out. It's really funny. It's been like an hour, and we made it through 15 seconds. Or no, a minute and 15 seconds of game footage.
That's perfectly fine. I really appreciate the help.
No, I think that's just... I think that's good. It just means there was a lot of like theoretical groundwork to talk about, and I think these lessons are cool because I get to talk about all my favorite stuff about Falco, and it's cool. I think this is a good VOD for people because it has a lot of this stuff all in one place. But yeah, okay, so do you have any other questions or thoughts? And also, I did send you that video on Discord. You should probably watch that ASAP. It might change things a lot for you.
Okay. No, I will definitely watch that ASAP. Let me just look through my notes real quick and then
Yeah.
double check. Thank you again. So, I guess, all right. So, like, big things to practice, just from what you've seen, like tonight, right? Because I have a month before I start med school, so I have shit that I gotta, I can just start working,
I see.
right? Yeah. So I'm trying to get as much in as I can in this month. Right. So big things for tonight. Like double shine is one of them. I'm sure the laser video is one of them. Like, what else do you think that I should be prioritizing before I see you again?
The full hops. The full hops are huge.
Okay.
This matchup is so full hop / platform heavy. The other one is definitely more so than the shield pressure. It's way more important. Like, to get outplays off the laser. Like, if you just sort of dash dance and you nair and you hit your opponent, I need you to be like, wait, that was bad. Like, even though you dash dance and you nared, you hit them, it was bad. It needs to like have a laser, and not like laser approach. Like laser look, like basically you just need to get good at this sort of stalematey thing with the full hop and the roll and the laser, and then that is the thing I want you to be able to do, because then you can start like if you can't stalemate, then what happens is you're like, I'm gonna get an outplay with the laser, and you shoot like 2 and you die because they just hit you. And so that's why what I want from you is I want you to get good at getting the outplays with the laser into an opening, but you might find that a little uncomfortable until you get good at this stalemating. So the main takeaway is look at this laser video, practice roll, full hop, and the lasers to stalemate. Just try to make the matches against Fox as long as possible. When you get hit out of your camping, go back, watch the VOD, figure that out. Once you feel, you don't need to be perfect at it, but once you feel like generally competent that like, I can sit there and shoot a bunch of lasers and I don't just die, like when your subconscious or like your hands can kind of protect you while you're lasering, that's what you want. That is like step 1. And once you can get that, I want you to just practice getting more openings off of outplaying with laser. So that's like the sort of 2-step process. The first step is very concrete. I want you to grind that the most. But if you kind of get past that and you're feeling good about it, then move on to the second step of just practicing the laser outplays. And while you're practicing the stalemating, you will sort of naturally be seeing like, I shot 2 lasers, full hop came down and shot 2 more, and I just won. Because he did something dumb, And you'll start seeing it a little bit more as you go. But this is what I want you to grind the most.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Yeah, awesome. I think this was a great lesson.
Could I schedule you for like 2 weeks from now? Is that possible?
Yeah. So yeah, just DM me. Like I have 2 weeks from now. I'm still completely open. Like I don't have any spots filled in 2 weeks. I basically schedule just like a week in advance. But yeah, we can set it. We can set it up for 2 weeks. No problem. We can just DM about it and we'll set it up. Definitely fine.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Great. Yeah, sounds good. All right. Have a good one, man. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, you too, man.
Peace.
Yeah.